What's good? What's good? What's good? What's going on, sippers and sniffers? Welcome back to Sips and Sniffs. All right. As you can tell, I'm still by my lonesome this time, but for a good reason because today we are having another community conversation. We are getting to know another reviewer from the fragrance family, someone that's been out there for a while now, built up quite a bit of a following, as many of them have. All right. And yeah, man, got a chance to reach out to him. Shared him on our live one time. I think back when we was talking about concert fragrances and whatnot. So definitely looking forward to getting the chance to catch up with him, discover his fragrance journey and everything, and go from there. All right. Now today, y'all, I'm still on a little bit of vacation, so my fragrance of the day is absolutely nothing. All right. I ain't got no skin oil on. I ain't got nothing on. Nathaniel, okay? Nathaniel, like the hot dogs or the corn dogs. But, all right, I hope to have a scent of the night soon. Probably gonna go with Ombre Nuit, all right, by Christian Dior from their Privé collection. So that'll probably be my fragrance of the night. Now, as far as what am I sipping on? This will be the last week that I will not be sipping. I will be getting to learn some new liqueurs and whatnot starting next week. But as of today, I am sipping on this 7-Eleven. Oh, wait, they don't need to know. Got a little strawberry lemonade here. All right, plenty of sugar. And we just going to work on it. All right. Shout out to Donald English. I see you out there on IG, man. Come on over to YouTube. I know you got an account. Come on, baby. I've seen you on Spencer's Live, so come on over, baby. All right, let me go ahead and go to the chat real quick. Let me go ahead and address everybody in there. Appreciate everybody who came out, man. All right, first up, of course, we got our guy Joel. All right, none other than the infamous Joel or Joel, however you want to pronounce it. I always forget, man. But he says scent of the day is Arabian Oud Yacht Mood. All right, nice. Nice. We got Rock Boy T. What up, my boy? All right. That's the Diddy hater on here, man. Scent of the day is Tilia with vanilla cake body oil. All right. You got to tell me who makes vanilla cake body oil. You got to tell me what brand that comes from, man. All right. We got Joel on here. Hey, shout out to Joel. I did see that he will be live, I believe, with Scent Bubble. He says in here, check out the Scent Bubble premiere video. It'll be live in the chat on September 4th. So that'll be Thursday. They did a video together. All right. All right. So it's a premiere. All right. Cool, cool, cool. He said him and Scent Bubble will be able to answer any questions or, you know what I'm saying, talk to you in there. So that's what's up, man. Appreciate that, Joel. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. Share. Like if you can. All right. We got Fragrance Journey 01 in here. Said hello, everyone. Joel giving a special shout out to Kevin. Said he's a good dude. As we know, man. Fragrance Journey. What's good, man? Zahara Bizan or Bizane. I'm going to have to get that right, but I do believe it's Zahara Bizan. All right. I believe that's that peach smell. I got to get my nose on that. Got to get some samples soon for sure. What's going on, Donald? Man, he said, what's good, all? Rocking cannoli woods by Making Sense. All right. And sipping on a raspberry lemonade. See, shout out to you, baby. Lemonade Brothers. All right. We got Kara. What's good, Kara? Miss Sparks. What's going on? We got Scented Paradise. All right. Long time no see. What's good, man? Jim's scent of the day is Blue Day Chanel Exclusive. I still got to go get my nose on that and that new Valentino. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Make a little short for sure. Scent of the day is Hermes Eau Givre. Love that fragrance. One of my summer staples at this point. Already. Got Smellgoodz shouting out from the back, and we're gonna bring him up here momentarily. Let me go ahead and get to the bottom. I got Mr. Clark. What's going on? And he said, Kara says she's ready for that Zahara Z 3.0. Aren't we all? We are all looking forward to the reveal. Already. All right. Well, we're at the bottom of the chat. Shout out to everybody who's in here. Le Persona, what's going on, man? I'll be putting out a video for you this week as well, reviewing 2 of the fragrances for sure. Man, they got some beauties from the house, man. I won't even lie to you. But with that being said, let me go ahead and bring my guy, your guy, our guy, Smellgoodz, aka Kev, up on the screen. Give me 1 second, man. There we go.
What's going on, my guy? I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Just trying to get through this day, man. Trying to get through this interview, you know?
I hear you.
I don't care how many of these I do, man. I still get a little nervous, get a few butterflies in the stomach every time I'm waiting to hop on camera, man.
Oh yeah, I got you. Man, I appreciate you having me on here for a moment.
Man, it's my pleasure, man.
Everybody.
I appreciate you setting aside time, man. You know, we had talked about this twice, you know, once, I think when Jason was still on the live and when he was still readily available, should I say. And then the second time after you and Joel joined me for the concert fragrances. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Gave you a little taste of how we operate on here, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and read our guy Fat Boy Finesse is in the building. What's going on, man?
Come on, Walt.
Scent Paradise. I got you, man. Say he hasn't done any lives in a while, but getting around to all right. Let us know, man. Share it with us. You already know. I'll share it in my community for sure. There we go, Walt. But yes, sir. But yeah, man, I'm glad I could finally get you on here, man. Been wanting to have a little chat with you, like I do everybody. You know, trying to get through the fragrance family. Trying to you know, just strengthen the community, one conversation at a time. Really, you know.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Let me just drop my scent of the day real quick.
Please.
And shout out to Joel, because I was actually watching him and Dedrick Hicks have a conversation. And Dedrick pulled this out, and I was like, okay, let me check it out. It is from Molinard. It is Gingembre.
Yeah.
This right here. Yeah. The bergamot, the grapefruit up top, the ginger. This was my scent of the day. It's a nice one. So shout out to Joel, who always comes up with stuff that nobody's heard of.
Indeed. Shout out to Joel, man.
Be fire.
For sure. So, Joel is he is a strong community member. I tell you that. Between the rapid responses in the chat, the various chats that he is not just a part of, but also a he definitely has plenty of wrenches in the community. I tell you that much. You know what I'm saying? But the guy is great. I mean, rapid response and always down to send out some recommendations. And shout out to him, because a year ago, this might be an anniversary week, to be honest with you, Kev. Close to a year ago, he put me on a fragrance that you recently were talking about.
Which one is
it?
That?
It is a beautiful amber fragrance. Almost smells chocolatey in a sense, but not quite.
Okay.
Comes from the house of, as a matter of fact, I forgot what house it is. But hold on 1 second. Joel knows. He probably put it in the chat already, man. Let me get it. From the house of Moresque. Soul Boutique. I don't know if you, maybe it wasn't you. I know me and Charm had a discussion, but maybe it was Dedrick or somebody talked about this recently. You know, I like to go around in people's videos and show a little love, you know what I'm saying? Listen for a few minutes, share it, like it, you know what I'm saying? If I don't know them, I subscribe just to show a little love, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But somebody from the community, I thought it was you, but no, somebody was talking about this beautiful.
That was Walt. Walt said it was him.
It was Walt. All right. Yes, this beautiful fragrance, man. Shout out to Walt for heeding Joel's recommendation. Beautiful bomb right there. All right, my guy Dakota. But yes, sir. But we are here to have a conversation.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's begin.
Let's go.
All right. So, Kev, man, you know, I just recently caught wind of you. All right, last year, as a matter of fact. and enjoyed quite a bit of the content. Enjoyed the demeanor on camera. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
How calm things were. Kev, I gotta ask you, how'd you get into the fragrance space? What brought you
So
here?
here's the thing. So I've only been doing this I just had my 1 year anniversary back in like June, July of this year, right? So I've only been doing this for about a year. Um, but as far as fragrance, growing up, you had, fragrances. Stepdad had fragrances. You would get a bottle here, a bottle there. But just for me, where I was in life and everything, as far as focusing on ministry, focusing on family,
Hmm.
fragrances were just like, if I get a bottle or two, I'm good. I'm set until I need something else. And then I might go times without having it. But in all honesty, it was like probably about 2 years ago, kids are out the house. Kids are, they're growing and grown. Got one who just started his career, another one who's finishing up law school right now. So for me, it was at
Congrats.
that time of like, let's figure out what Kevin likes, what Kevin wants to do. And I'd always had an affinity for fragrances. And so it's like, okay. So I started off with the whole scent bird thing and figuring out some stuff there. That moved a little too slow for me, just because it was like you get one and that's gone. And like for me, because I'm an oversprayer, right? So it's gone quickly. But I kind of, and I, like I said, I always had bottles. I always had something as far as one or two fragrances I would keep around.
Right.
But for me, the shift came during the TikTok I was watching, and I was seeing what was Assad, I was seeing Kamra, and I was seeing 9 p.m. during that
The
whole time where they were
usuals.
being hyped up, right? The usual
Mhm.
suspects. So I kind of picked those up, and I was like, okay, and it kind of showed me what was possible. And then that took me down the path of, okay, what else is out there? And then from there, it just kind of exploded into this thing of, I'm really enjoying fragrances. Let me do a channel, because my wife and I have another channel that we do. And I was like, let me do this channel for myself. And we kind of run with it. So that's kind of how I jumped into this fragrance space, fragrance game, all that fun stuff.
All right, that's what's up, man. No, that's great. That's great. And it's funny because you got wind of one of the Middle Eastern reviewers and whatnot. I think a
Hmm.
lot of us started there. Dedrick
Hmm.
definitely started off reviewing straight Middle Easterns and designers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we all were started off in those realms.
Yeah. Cause I mean, when I first, for me, it was whatever was available at Perfumania. And at that time, I wasn't into notes. I didn't try and figure out notes. It was just kind of whatever
Yeah,
they put in front of me, and whatever smelled the best of the four that they gave me to look at. Those were the ones that I
exactly.
would, figure out. But now that I've been working in this and really figuring this out and everything, now I have a little more that I can bring to it. But yeah, I mean, it was just like I came in there, and that's why I call clones Middle Eastern brand. I call them the gateway drug to this fragrance thing that we all are all addicted to, right? It's the thing that for some people is what gets them started, gets them going, and it's a jumping off point.
Okay. Yeah. No, 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 definitely. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody wants to know where do they start,
Mhm.
especially now that I've been roaming over there into the TikTok space. So many people want to know where do they start. They ask them. Now in TikTok, there's less question as far as where to start
Right.
because I mean, most of what they're doing is where a lot of us started, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Which it would be renditions, clones, whatever you
Yeah.
want to call them, right? Middle Easterns. And well, I hate seeing Middle Eastern because it's Middle Eastern, it's high class Middle Eastern. You know what I'm saying? They're better
Right.
than your Eurocentric ones, but we'll get into that later. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But but definitely your clones and your renditions, right?
Mhm.
And yeah, man, I think it's just easier and more affordable. What's going on, Bashan? All right. Come on over and join us on YouTube, baby. But shout out to everybody who's joining us on both Instagram and YouTube, man. Appreciate y'all for coming through. But all right. But yeah, so that's where you came from at least, and you decided
Mhm.
to hop on behind camera. Tell us, as far as your fragrance journey in life, where did it first begin for you? What is your first memorable moment when you realized that fragrances would have something to do with you and your enjoyment until?
There's two questions in there. First of all, as far as like going back to my first fragrance memories, if you will, right?
Mhm.
For me, I was talking with my wife about this. For me, the very first fragrance I ever remember was when I was like 11 or 12. And I had a family member that I don't know if it was aunt or somebody that sold Avon. And my mom got, I think it was called Rookie. In fact, I remember it was a little baseball shaped glass bottle. And there was no atomizer to it. They didn't trust 12-year-olds with the atomizer at that time. So it was one
Right,
of those
right.
little dabbers that you just kind of pour in your hand, do that
Mm-hmm.
whole thing, and then, right? So that was my
Yep.
first. Don't ask me about notes. Don't ask me about nothing about that, right? But from there, it was like, okay, Aspen, Curve. In college, it was the oils because I was a pro-black college student on the
Hey,
AUC campus. And
hey.
so therefore, I would go down to the oil man. I'd get the Egyptian musk. I'd get the black love and the sex on the beach. And those were the fragrances that I would wear throughout college. And then from there, it was just kind of like, you kind of grow in and it's like, okay, I want some other scents, want some other things. And then for me, when it really, like I said, became a almost a passion, it became a thing for me, was probably about 2.5 years ago, when it was like, okay, let's jump into this. Let's really figure this out. This is something I really enjoy, really like. My wife likes it too. So let's figure this out. And so it's been that progress from going back to 11 years old. That's why the channel is called Smellgoodz, because that's what me and my brother would call it, right? Back in Chicago, that's what
Yeah.
we called it. We called them Smellgoodz. Yo, you got them
Kev, where
smell
you
good?
from?
Chicago, born and
Okay.
raised in Chicago, in actual Chicago, not outside of Chicago, because those are two different things.
My bad. In the midst of it. I got you. But
So
okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
I mean that's what we called them, with Smell Goods, and so that was the name of the channel is a throwback to that's what we would call them, the Smell Goods.
I'm with you on that. I had to ask, because down here in the South, we call it smell goods too.
Yeah,
I mean that's an ironic thing. And I may be slightly your junior, but hell, when we was in college, we went through the same thing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, but smell goods is probably a universal term
oh yeah,
nowadays, man. You know what
oh yeah,
I'm
yes
saying?
sir,
I don't think
yes sir.
anybody, because I don't think we really had the knowledge to really cipher between cologne and perfume. I think it was just,
Everything was cologne. That's all you knew,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Cologne, because cologne
exactly.
was for men and perfume was for ladies. That's
Right.
what we kind of just broke it down at that time, right?
Oh yeah. So yeah, so I definitely get that, man. So let me ask you this: knowing that, what was your first, knowing all of that, what was your first bottle that you yourself saved up or put some money aside to purchase? Both. And let's start right here. What was your first Middle Eastern? All right. What was your
Mhm.
first designer? And what was the first the niche? Tell us about
Okay,
it.
so the first one that I, outside of like, because like my very first bottle I remember ever purchasing myself was Aspen, right? And I'm dating myself. This is 1989, somewhere in there,
Mhm.
right? So that was the first one I ever purchased for myself. But as far as like my first Middle Eastern was that trio of Assad, 9 p.m. and Kamra. That was my first Middle Easterns, right?
Okay.
So that's why Latafa probably makes up a good portion of my Middle Eastern brands. Okay. But then as far as my first designer that I remember, outside of like Curve that everyone had, I would say was probably a John Varvatos. Just because those were the ones that John Varvatos and Mont Blanc are the two brands as far as designers that kind of like I was into before I knew what I was into, right?
Okay.
Um, Mont Blanc Legend Night, John Varvatos, the Vintage, the Artisan Blue, Artisan. Those were the ones that I would always get typically when I went over um, to Perfumania or wherever. As far as my
Okay.
first niche, so I didn't really understand and know niche until I jumped into the space, right? Because
Mm,
niche was just seemed, again, all you know if you go to Macy's, all you know is Mont Blanc, Coach, whatever, right? So
right.
I would say my first niche that I purchased would have to be, actually it was Triumph of Bacchus, I think was my first one that I purchased.
Really? That's
Yeah, 'cause
interesting.
it's not been that long, right? Because again,
Yeah.
if my journey is up until probably um what, November of last year, was
Wow.
in fact my channel was mostly just Middle Eastern and designer. But my first
Okay.
actual purchase of a niche fragrance, I'm looking around just to kind of make sure. Yeah, I think that's the first one that I actually had that was definitively niche.
Okay. 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 That makes sense. And but that's a heck of a place to start,
Yeah.
especially for your indie niche,
Hmm.
We'll get into that a little bit more later because we had
Yes,
a
sir.
Argos event this past Friday, and man, I got my nose on the recent one.
Okay.
I bought me a bottle,
I'm
and
hearing
I
a
got
good
my nose
thing
on the
about it.
one that's yet to come.
Okay.
So yeah, so we got
I'm
some
hearing
explaining
about
to
those.
do.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah, we got some explaining to do. So,
Yes, sir.
but definitely, man. And the funny thing is, I'm looking through the chat. Look, between Jules and several other people, I think everybody else still calls it smell goods. Jules
Hmm.
even said her family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? She's out there in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So yeah, man. No, so they definitely understand. I know.
So,
But all right. So those were your first purchases. All right,
mhm.
man. And I do want to ask one thing before we move on to the next part. So who did you hear Argos from? Who introduced you to the House of Argos to get your first indie niche?
Listen, like you, I'm watching all over the time, all over the place. I'm watching
Yeah.
everybody, right? If I'm, just because who I look to in this space, um, like I said, TikTok was where I first kind of started seeing a lot of things. But when I came over to YouTube, you
Mhm.
know, Cuba was probably the one that got me the most attention as far as my viewership at first, right? But then finding Ross, finding Dedrick, finding, Big Beard, finding a lot of these different people. And so now as I'm even making content in this space and now I'm kind of going through, I'm paying attention
Mhm.
to what people are saying. So like I putting out the one that Joel recommended and Dedrick, got the Jajimbre. I did that off of a recommendation because Joel comes up with crazy stuff that it seems to be solid, right? And Dedrick,
Indeed, indeed.
I trust Dedrick's nose because Dedrick and our noses align on a lot of things. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I can take what they are saying and say, okay, let me get my own experience. Let me, I still trust my own nose,
Right.
but I have people that I look to and I say, they've not led me wrong yet. So let me kind of jump in and see what I can get and see what I can find. And if I find it on a good price and on a good deal, I'll pull it.
There you go. There you go. I definitely understand. Well, let me ask you this, man. So, have you been to any fragrance events?
Not yet.
Oh
I
man,
was I wanted to go to Scent Explorer, but I'm like, that's a little out of my budget right now, just with the hotel and flights and all that fun stuff. So that's my
got you.
plan for next year. I am looking at going to, is it Market Week in Las Vegas? That's 4 hours from me, so I'll probably do that next year. And then I keep hearing about Glamcation. I didn't make it this year, or won't make it this year. So I have a few that I've been eyeing out and scoping out, and I'm even thinking about maybe trying to do something here in Phoenix to put together some things.
Okay. Well, let me tell you this, man. I tell anybody, check at your local stores, whether it be a Macy's, a Dillard's, or whatnot. A lot of
Mhm.
those stores have little events. All right. Now, I'm blessed to be in Dallas, as others are blessed to be by niche perfume stores such as La Jetée out there in
Okay.
Orlando. Shout out to Jason and Will and those. Or your scent room in LA. We got a scent room down here in Dallas, and we got an up and coming store that I'll talk more about later on called Scent Eternal with my guy Frank
Okay.
that does niche as well. They'll be having some events, and I'm gonna kind of help to kind of curate and see what I can do, bring in some people,
Yeah. Yeah.
check with those stores where they'll have certain brands that'll come up, even if it's just a representative that comes in and talks about it. They give out samples, talk about the things. Now with the designers they're offering at some of the Macy's and whatnot, you just go get your samples. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
now Dillard's, Macy's, the ones that aren't shutting down, especially Dillard's, they actually reinvested in their fragrance sections and whatnot. And a lot of the Dillard's are getting, like the one down here in Dallas. They actually got one at our upscale mall where they have a Creed,
Yeah.
Initio, and several other niche style fragrance boutiques
Oh
or
yeah.
boots,
Yeah. Now
whatnot.
I'll stop by there, of course, like because like our
Okay,
Dillard's has the Dillard's over on the other side of the valley has Mind Games. They've got Initio. They've got Parfums de Marley. They've got all those, and so I'm on their list as far as like whenever Creed drops a new fragrance, I at least get a sample of that, right?
got you,
So yeah,
got you.
yeah. But as far as like
But
an
no big
actual event,
events.
no. And Phoenix, I don't know. Phoenix is weird. Phoenix is great, but Phoenix is weird. And I say that coming from Chicago. Phoenix is weird.
Trust me, you're talking about two different worlds in a sense, all right?
Yes, sir.
But let me ask you this. How close are you to the Day 3 boutique now?
Oh, I'm about 30, 45 minutes away just because of where it is from where I live. But I've been over there now. I've been over to talk to Michael. I've been out there
Okay.
a couple of times. So yeah, I know where that's at. Yeah. Trust.
Okay, I was about
That's,
to say, because I
yeah.
know he does do some events up there or
Yes.
releases for some of his stuff, especially with that oud fragrance coming out soon.
So you know about that too.
Uh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yes, sir.
Yes. You already
I've
know
been
I'm
telling
looking
my
forward to it.
audience whenever he announces it, do not walk, run. Because have you put nose on it?
Not yet. But see, I'm supposed to go visit my cousin probably next month.
Okay.
Honestly, probably around my birthday in October. I'm supposed to go out there and visit her. I was trying to go elsewhere, either there or Florida. I'm trying to see one of them. But if I go out there to Arizona where she is, it's not far from Mike and them's boutique. So I'm gonna drop by and get my nose on it, Lord willing.
Yes. Do that. Do that.
Look, we got Fat Boy in the building. He said Raleigh is dry. He got to go to Charlotte to get some niche love.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah. Our guy Esteban said he's blessed out there in LA, definitely, to have a few cool spots and check out fragrances. Not to mention, y'all have exclusive boutiques such as the
Mhm.
Ex Nihilo. I mean, y'all got some stuff out there in LA, just like New York, man.
Yeah.
All right. Guy Wall said trying to get to Beverly Hills out there. I know. All right. Shout out to Spence and everybody who joined us recently, but shout out to the wonderful and beautiful Alicia. All right. Scent of the night is Kai Fragrance's Tender Kisses. Oh my God. We got to talk about that too, man. As soon as I get the rest of my package that he wanted me to, Kai Fragrance is an up and coming indie niche fragrance.
Okay.
And she said her favorite is Tender Kisses. Shout out to Alicia. Shout out to Kai. But you know what? Let me put this back. We'll talk about that later, man. I'm trying to put as many people in touch with as many, up and coming brands, get them some love to get them out there to people, but we'll talk after this, man, for sure.
Yeah.
But let me go ahead and scroll down to the bottom. We'll get to the next one, man. We
Okay.
got Habibi. I don't know if you've seen him in your chats, Habib. He said the oud fragrance from Day 3 is nice. Yeah. Got to get my nose on it. And this dude, Jez, we got to talk about that new Argo release. They gave me the deets, but I need to know. Don't worry, bro. Don't worry. We will talk, man. Carlton, what's good, man? Scent of the day is Coconut Lagoon. Let me go ahead and get to the bottom, man. Shout out to everybody who's with us right now, man. And Elisa says she'll wait until I share. All right. And yeah, and we got Esteban encouraging people to spend their money, their hard-earned money, on an expensive ticket out there to LA to go visit him and everybody else for Glamcation. So
Yeah. Glamcation just falls because I'm taking a cruise right there at that time too. So I'll be in LA, but I'll be cruising around out of LA. So, but next year I'll definitely make it for Glamcation.
Already. All right. So let's go here. All right. Bashan, you're gonna have to hit me in the DM, man. Hey, Love Suede is a beautiful fragrance. I love it. It's more cashmere-ish, aromatic and whatnot, but you got to hit me. I'll let you know everything you want to know. Shout out to Chris Classic and, of course, the House of Savoir Faire. All right. But all right,
Mhm.
moving on. So, as we know, you've been in this reviewing thing for a little while, and appreciate that, man. Always need different perspectives, opinions, and whatnot on this stuff. Let me know this. All right. What's your favorite note or accord at this time? Especially in this transitional period, because I know so many for y'all, it's probably still as hot as it is here for us in Texas. But
Yes.
what are you enjoying at this time, and what are you looking forward to? That's two questions.
So right now, surprisingly, ginger is not surprisingly, but ginger is one of the notes that I'm really feeling a lot of things right now, which is the gingembre and some other things. So ginger is probably one, and then of course bergamot is another that I find is pretty much in a lot of things that I'm enjoying. Right. Um, but then as we're transitioning, that tobacco note, that tobacco note is probably hitting a lot of the things that I'm into. And of course, with the fall and winter, you can't go without vanilla. But tobacco is one of those that is like
True.
it's in a lot of things, and it's a lot of things that I'm looking forward to getting back to wearing that has that tobacco.
All right, all right. That's a bet. That's a bet, man, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
for sure. I tell you what. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely get into that a
Because
little bit later. Shout out
because
to
you
my
know
guy.
that. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead. No, I was gonna
No,
say
no,
because
go
you know
ahead.
that I just saw your video with where you did the sampling, the sniffing, and you turned your boy on to philosophia.
Man.
So
And he went and bought a
philosophia,
bottle that night.
listen, philosophia is going to be well. Let's put it like this. I'm debating on which one is going to be my next day three. Right now, the new one from day three that is about to come out that we keep hinting about, that's going to
Yeah,
be definite. But if I have it,
definitive.
the ability, philosophia is probably going to be in there too, because those are the two that right now from the house are missing from what I need from them.
Yeah. Now, you've smelled Desert Rain, right?
Yep.
Hey, what's your take on Desert Rain?
I enjoy it. In fact, it's one of the ones we'll talk about here in a little bit, but Desert Rain smells really good. I'm really
Okay.
enjoying it. Yeah.
We'll stop right there. Yeah, definitely, definitely, because we're gonna come back around to that. And they'll understand why, man. Yeah,
Yes,
definitely,
sir.
definitely go one of my favorites from the house right now. But all right, with that being said, so we've gotten off. All right, we know where you started. All right.
Mhm.
We know where you are as far as what you're looking for and whatnot. You know, really enjoying that ginger right now, being in the hot states and whatnot. And looking forward to a little tobacco, a little vanilla. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? All right,
Mhm.
all right. So tell us this, man. Tell us this. Any brands in particular that you're thinking about getting into, whether it be sampling, full bottles? Let's hear a little bit of both of them. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm really intrigued by a lot of things that Argos is doing, right? I've got the Triumph of Bacchus. I'm hearing about the new one that or that's about to release, and then the one that is kind of top secret that everybody's hinting at. So I'm definitely feeling and checking out Argos. I want to get more into Xerjoff and all of their lines. That's another one I want to check out.
All right.
Um, Other than that, I'm trying to think of there's a couple of brands that I want to get some discovery sets for, like what's his name? Zernell Gilly is probably the next discovery set that I'll get. He's got some stuff I want to check out.
Yes, he does.
Um, I've gotten into Savoir Faire. My plan is when I go down to Atlanta in October, see if I can stop by his place and check out the things that I don't have just yet. And then yeah, I mean that's those are the ones that are definitely top of mind right now for me.
Okay, okay, okay. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Those are three good ones, to be honest with you. I like
Mm.
that, Definitely, we'll definitely be in touch and whatnot. Might have some other ones that you might want to get into, man. I tell you, because the one thing that I do appreciate about you and several others, even those that don't have as open aren't as open minded to various forms of perfumery and whatnot as we are. I definitely just want to give y'all a shout out and say, appreciate that because in a space where you can easily, which I did, I fell a victim
Mhm.
to for a little while, where you can easily limit yourself and become particular with one form or another. Um, Shout out to y'all that still, are just enjoying it for the pure love of perfumery. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Whether it be good or bad, the journey and the experience of getting to, form an opinion
Mhm.
on different brands, different fragrances and styles and whatnot. That's the enjoyment for me, you know. And shout out to those who share in that as well. It's almost some want to say use words such as pure. I wouldn't necessarily say it's pure, but maybe just pure enjoyment for the artistry.
Yeah, I mean, there's one I remember Dedrick saying, "There's so much out here to smell, right?
So
There's so
much.
much out here to put your nose on." And even when, if we're honest about the renditions, the clones, cover, remixes, cousins, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
if we're honest about them, even though there's differences that you can pick up between them, right? And
Yeah.
the fact is that, for me, coming into this space, I've been training my nose because I really want to know this. I really want to enjoy this, right? I want to be able to smell something and pick up. Of course, I'm not going to be able to pick up every note, right? But at
Right.
least
Of
get some of
course.
what the artist did, right? Because I think about
Mhm.
it, I love music. I even sometimes think in music, right? And my favorite artist of all time is Prince. And the thing about Prince is that in a lot of his music, you hear licks of different stuff, right? You
True.
hear it's like
So true.
you gotta listen to it and you hear the bass line on this track, right? And then you come back and you're like, oh, he did something crazy with his voice there. And then you come back and you listen to that same track and you hear something else. And so
Hmm.
that's the way I view fragrances is that you can never really experience it totally and fully. There's always going to be something that does a little twist, a little different. And to limit myself to say, well, I'm only going to listen to or only going to, smell this brand or only smell this style, I'm missing out on a whole variety of other things that are out there. So
Yeah. I definitely agree, man. I definitely agree. And yeah, that is one of the beautiful things about Prince's music. Being a music connoisseur as well. He definitely brought different genres of music together, from
mhm,
rock, pop, rap. I wouldn't say rap, but hip hop in a sense.
right.
But not only that, he also he also formed a unisex and a genre of style that kind of combined everything as well. You know what I mean? From the
Yeah.
from the
I mean,
pumps to the
if you
tight
think about
clothes.
Prince wrote for everybody. There's no style of music I don't think that Prince didn't write for, unless you want to say like heavy metal or something like that. But
Right.
Prince wrote for, and did stuff for the R&B, for the pop, for, you name it, he did that. So that's the way I'm approaching my fragrance journey is I want to smell everything. I want to put my nose on as
Yeah,
much as I can, see what's out there, and then I can
exactly.
determine whether or not what's good and what's bad.
Exactly. Why limit yourself? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why limit yourself? You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we're not going to get into the conversation that could lead into. You know what I'm
I
saying?
see them.
There's been
I
enough
see.
discussions on that. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to lay off of that. I'm not going to go down that path.
Yeah, no, you good.
But no, I
Here's
definitely
the
I
thing.
definitely
We
appreciate.
we are just talking about scented oil, water, and alcohol. And we fighting about scented oil, water, and alcohol.
Stop it, Kev. I'm gonna give you a verbal lashing when we get off from here, because I have already said this. The discrepancy between the different styles of perfumery has nothing to do with the contents in the bottle. I don't care what they say.
Yep.
What it has to do with is men or people's pride and sense of worth, in a sense. That's really what it comes down to.
Mhm.
You can break it down however you want to. The only reason why it becomes a problem with some is because of something inside of them, not inside of that damn bottle.
Yeah.
So let's just
Everyone
be
has their
honest. Let's
preference.
quit. Yeah, let's quit blaming the perfume. All right,
Yep.
the perfume ain't the
Everybody got their
problem.
preference. Rock with your
That's right.
preference.
That's right. Yes. So now that we already dipped our foot into that pool that I was trying not to get into, all right.
I hear you.
All right. Hey, now is for the more enjoyable part of it. All right. So, usually we after we do this, we always come to an end. There's always plenty of stuff to talk about, but
Hmm.
for a minute conversation, I like to end it with one of the things that we love to correlate in the first place, and that's going to be music, or should I say, scents and sounds,
Yes, sir.
music and fragrances. All right. So, as usual, as I always do, I ask the guests to come up with 3 or 4 songs. All right, and compare them or correlate them to fragrances that they have in their collection, and
Hmm.
just do an overall description on what you remember, how it makes you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like what mine say. Just give us a correlation of the fragrance of the song. All right.
I got you.
And yeah, that's where we are at this point, my man. Bear with me one second. I am looking through here, but you have everything that you need, correct?
Yep.
Great.
Yeah.
So we are going to go ahead and put this in there. Let me go ahead and bring these up, and we'll get going, man. Yeah, I like to do this because it's funny. Like I said on Spence on the live with Spence and everybody else, it's funny. Nobody really discusses it too
Hmm.
often. But every time we talk about fragrances, like say for instance, every time we post it on something, we always got to have a background song or a
Hmm.
sound. And you can't tell me that song that you chose on your Instagram post doesn't correlate to either the feeling you get from there, or perhaps the music that plays in when you look at the bottle. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
And so yes, we're getting into it. All right. So with that being said, my friend, all right.
Hmm.
Let's go ahead and get into the first one. So you send me a list, all right?
Yeah,
I got the song. All you got to do is talk about the fragrance.
I got you.
Let me go ahead and get you on here. Go ahead with your first one, my friend.
All right. So the first one we're going to do is from the house of day 3, Desert Rain. Right.
All right.
This, when I smelled it, was it has a very realistic, very nice a rain scent to it, right? The thing I appreciate about Michael and the whole Day 3 family and their team is he really is very serious about trying to capture the experience, right? If you've heard him talk about some of his other ones like Trace Oros, the story behind that, he's
Oh
always
yeah.
trying to capture the experience, right? And so the level of care that went into Desert Rain to give me that experience of rain in the desert was unique, and so definitely something I want to talk about. And so the song that I have for that, now the story behind the fragrance, the collab that they did with Colton Dixon. Colton Dixon is a contemporary Christian music artist, and so he has a song, I think, "Build a Boat," which is the story of Noah. I'm not really a big contemporary Christian music fan, but I was like, okay, if I'm going to have a song that goes along with this, that deals with rain, you can't talk rain and gospel music without bringing out Kirk Franklin. So we're going to play that Melodies from Heaven.
Okay. All right. Here we go, y'all. Let's see what we got. Ah, yeah.
You got to get to the better part. You got to get to the rain.
Oh yeah.
Melodies from heaven, rain down on me, rain down on me.
You're right, Jason.
Melodies from
Don't
heaven,
respond to him. Don't respond to him.
rain down on me, rain down on me. Take me in your arms and hold me close. Rain down on me, rain down on me. Fill me with your precious Holy Ghost. Rain down feel it now, Vicky. Can we take it up here? Here we go, everybody. Melody. Rain down. Oh, come on in here. Come on, say it with us. Melody. Yeah. Rain down. Rain down. Take me.
All right, you
Hey.
let that one go.
Great song. You know what I'm saying? I would normally let it go, but on
got you.
YouTube, it's not blessed by God. You know what I'm saying?
I
It will be
understand, I
copywritten by a lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that was the first one. Yeah, I mean, if you haven't picked up Day 3's Desert Rain, you need to. It is now Trace Swirls makes a good call for their fragrance of the year. Desert Rain is up there as well. But then, this other one that's about to come out, listen, I can't talk about it enough. Yeah, it's that one. All right, let's move on. You ready for the next song, man?
Yes, I am. All right.
All right.
All right.
Next song is, well, the next fragrance, let's deal with that, is a new one that I picked up. And, again, I am, as far as my journey, I'm in the cologne space. I'm skipping a little respect. In some respects, I'm skipping over designer, not completely, but my focus is clones or Middle Eastern brands and niche. This is one that I picked up very recently that already has me kind of in a chokehold. It is Dynasty from Lattafa.
So you talked about that earlier.
This is their take. So there's two things that it's been attributed to. The thing that I'm speculating just upon the notes and even the design of the bottle, because sometimes with these clones, the design of the bottle kind of tells you what they're going after, right? And so in this case, I think they're going after Clive Christian's El Red Tea Vetiver. Now, I've not put nose on it, so my cold thing is, how does this as a standalone fragrance smell? This is layered fluid. This is tea. This is what you got, opening with citrus and spices. This right now is like I said, it's got me kind of in a chokehold. But as far as the song that I came up with for this one is from your boy Maxwell, right? Ascension, Don't Ever Wonder. Because Maxwell, even when he came out, was kind of a little fluid from what we were expecting, what we kind of got in the era that he was in.
Yes, sir.
He has a classic style, a classic songs. He's just classic all around, and is a little elevated. He's kind of above the typical R&B type of stuff. So that's the fragrance that I was like, okay, if I'm thinking about something that's airy, classic, that still has some depth to it, let's go with Maxwell. So that Ascension, let's go ahead and hit that one, man.
I got you, baby. Here we go. I gotta get on. I gotta get on here and groove a little bit too.
Maxwell stuff is timeless, man. This is what, 20, 30 years ago?
Make me want to grow my hair out. You know what I'm saying? Throw some bell bottoms. Get one of those French cut shirts. Yes. Love it, baby. Hey.
It happened the moment when you were revealed, 'cause you were a
Hold up that
dream
bottle,
that
yeah.
just should
Hold up that
not
bottle,
have
yeah.
been a fantasy real. You gave me this beating, baby, this rhythm inside. You made me feel good and feel nice and feel
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's just enough to I don't get struck. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah. Don't want that strike. Yes, sir. All right. So next song that I have is, or the next fragrance, I should say. This was probably my second niche purchase. Because as we were talking about off stage, you know, I want, this is a house that I want to get into a little more. I was like, picked it up for a really nice price for a 30 mil and was pleasantly surprised and definitely want to get more into the house. I'm talking about from Xerjoff and from their Cosmorati line. This is 1888. And this is, you got the carnation up top. You got florals, you've got amber, sandalwood, all in this. This is, for me, this is an elevated fragrance, but it's also got a little of the warmth and a little of the grittiness, if you will, with it. That just makes this kind of a classic fragrance for me. This smells vintage in some respects without being vintage. It gives you that throwback type of smell. So the song that I have for that is a song that just even when it came out felt vintage or felt older than what it was. And even though it's a really nice, beautiful, classy song, if we talk about the people that are singing it, there's some grittiness to them too. I'm talking about All My Life by Casey and JoJo.
And you know this, man. Let's get it.
New Spring, man. Talk about it, look,
Sorry,
90s New
Spence.
Spring.
You know it, man. Hey, but I'm sorry, Spence. I gotta come in. I gotta come in on this.
Baby, 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 baby. I'm so glad.
This was a departure from Enan and all the other people.
I will never find another lover sweeter than you, sweeter than you. And I will never find another lover more precious than you, more precious than you. The girl you are. Close to me, you like my mother. Close to me, you like my father. Close to me, you like my sister. Close to me, you like my brother. And you are the only one, you're my everything. And for you, the song I sing. All my life.
Oh, don't pull back now, kid.
All my life, I pray for someone like you, and I hope that you feel the same way too. Yes, I pray that you do love me too. I said you're all that I'm thinking of.
That's all that we're gonna listen to. I tell you that much. All right.
Now here's
Shout
the
out
thing.
to Casey and JoJo.
I have one thing you'll find about me. I have random trivia that sometimes rolls around in my head.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that they tried to say that song was Casey writing a song to his daughter?
Oh,
They were
no, I
saying
did
that,
not.
that All My Life was actually about his daughter. The lyrics, I don't think the lyrics really match that energy or that vibe, but just a random piece of information.
Gotcha. No, that's actually interesting. If so, you know.
Yeah.
All right. That is nice. That's definitely random.
Yes. Again,
But-
what goes on in my head sometimes.
It's all good. It's all good. But that is actually a very good correlation for fragrance and sound. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that little duo already. Already. Shout out to Kay and everybody else who came in here more so recently, man. Shout out to y'all. My little brother, my little brother, forgive me, Kev, but my little brother Hofa's on there. Little bro Hofa's on here. King
you good.
Gailey's. All right. Shout out to him. But yeah, what's going on, everybody? All right. So we did 3, and of course, yeah. Let me go ahead and address this. Yeah, we not worried about getting nothing pulled. All right. Hey, we ain't making no money. We're not getting copyright strike. But they did say that if we do make any money off of this Scents and Sounds, they're gonna take a portion of it. So
Mhm.
I hope they find a way to take a portion of 0, because that's exactly what we got coming in. So hey, have at it. Have at it, man. Good luck.
Yes.
Lil Wayne say bye-bye, good luck. Yeah, man, that's
Yeah,
about it.
and that song, yeah. When we heard that that's how he was approaching as far as the writing of that song, it was like,
Mhm.
that don't match, bro. That don't make sense.
Yeah, hey, we know about their hobbies and their pastimes that they had.
Right.
My man was in another frame of mind, but it is what it is. Back then,
Yes, sir.
some of those songs that we listened to back then, we listened to it lyrically, and it just sounded so good. And then when you actually sit back and read it out loud and figure out what they were saying, you'd be like, wait a second, wait, what?
Listen, because Keith Sweat had a couple that was like, what you talking about, bruh?
You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of them.
You-
Trust me.
Yeah. You know,
Oh, yeah.
Walt got on me before because I was bringing up the fact that can I talk to you, or Tevin Campbell, can we talk?
Oh, yeah.
It's a stalker
Can
song.
we talk
It's a stalker song.
for a minute? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
I saw you standing over there, and I wanted. He basically is having all this conversation with her in his head as he's watching her go about her life. It's a stalker song.
Yeah, pretty much, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping that y'all in the chat have used these songs as better tools, for actual engagement
Yes, sir.
outside of your head or outside of yourself. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, Nate the Great? What's good? Scent of the day is Apex Parfum. All right. Like that. Shout out to you and your family. We got Rafan over here, Gems and Smellgoodz already. Scent of the night is
Hold on, Rafan.
Valentino Uomo, EDTOG. Yes, sir. All right. Well, we do know that you got one more fragrance, one more song. Go ahead and get us hip to it, man.
So the next song actually shares the name with the fragrance. When I was thinking about, getting my stuff together as far as fragrances I want to talk about, fragrances that I'm feeling, fragrances that are kind of high on my list. This is one of the ones that's definitely high on my list. It is one from Mancera that I don't know that it gets talked about enough. I think when we talk Mancera, of course, we're talking Cedroc Boss, we're talking Instant Crush, but this one right here is probably my go-to from that house. And the song that we're talking about is called Black Gold as well. Or let me give you the fragrance, Black Gold. The song is by a person named Esperanza Spalding, she's a bassist, but she did like this whole jazz R&B type of album a few years back. And the song Black Gold basically is about it's like the hidden cultural richness that exists within the blackness of people. And it kind of aligns with the fact that there's a depth and a richness to Black Gold from Mancera that is kind of it sneaks upon you, but once you see it, once you smell it, you're there. All right. So again, the song is Black Gold from Esperanza Spalding.
All right. Let's go ahead and put it out there. What's going on, Raph? I'm not sure who this James is that you mentioned in the chat. I'm not sure who that is. Let me see. Don't laugh too hard. There it is. All right.
Hold your head as high as you can, high enough to see who you are, little man. Life sometimes is cold and cruel, maybe no one else will tell you so.
Check out, kid.
You are black gold, black gold. You are black gold. Now maybe no one else has ever told you so, but you're golden, baby, black gold with a diamond soul. Think of all the strength you have in you, from the blood you carry within you. Ancient men, powerful men, builders of civilization. There'll be folks hell bent on putting you down. Don't get burned.
Yes, sir.
I like that jazz feel, man. That is a nice song.
That's
and
an
shout
album
out
I
to
go-
you. Yeah, shout out to you for Black Gold too, man.
Yeah, that's an album I go back to every now and then. And Black Gold is, yeah, it's that one for me.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. My guy Bar, 20 Degrees in LA, used to rave about that. He used to swear I needed to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Let me address that. I don't know a Jimmy either. I don't know who the hell that is. But anyways, we'll move on. But yeah, man, two good things, man. Nice little song, jazz. I need to get my nose on Black Gold. I've heard a lot of good things about it, like I said, but I've never actually smelt it myself. Man,
Yeah, I mean, you got the lavender, you got leather, you got some citrus, some oud in there. Yeah.
mm. Okay, that's a bet. That's a bet. Well, I like the correlation. You know what I'm saying? Same song, same
Mhm.
name. I like that. I like that. I think I got your style of music down, Kev. You a smooth dude. You do a lot of jazz and a lot of like R&B.
Jazz, R&B, more R&B, of course, than jazz right now. But I mean, listen, I'm a hip hop head. I grew up on hip hop. All right. You gonna put yourself back on, or is it just gonna be me?
But but oh my bad. Hold on one second.
I got you. But
You
yeah,
know, the funny thing is hip hop used to be different back then though.
so here's the thing. If we're gonna talk, we're gonna have a conversation.
Let's hear
I put it out a while ago. This is something, and sometimes, because I do this even in ministry, sometimes I will say stuff that is a gut punch statement to catch your attention.
it.
But I made the statement as it relates to hip hop, and folks was like, "Oh, how could you say that?" Listen to what I'm saying though.
All right.
NWA killed hip hop.
In what manner?
Yeah. Huh?
In what manner? I'm open to hearing it.
So here's now again, I appreciate all that NWA did and they brought to the table, what have you. But if you remember before, because I grew up in the era of BDP, grew up in the era of LL, you know, I grew up in the era of EPMD, all of that, right? When it was, yeah, we're telling stories, we're having fun, what have you. But it was also about leveling up. It was also about go to school. It was also about doing the things that made hip hop fun, but also made it a movement towards people as far as not what's what I'm looking for, not being so far into the drug game and what have you. It was more about how do I get out of the drug game, right? NWA, and I use them as the foil, if you will, but NWA, when they came on the scene, first of all, I'll say this. I went to a predominantly white, predominantly Jewish high school on the north side of Chicago. I didn't hear about NWA in my Black community. I heard about NWA from the white kids that I was going to school with who thought this was the epitome of hip hop at the time. Okay. So it was something that was brought into, and in some respects, I would say forced into us, that it was like, okay, this is now talking street, this is talking the real, this is talking what have you. And so now from that point forward, what you notice is that those that were talking about getting out of the drug game, and those that were not glorifying that or telling that story, they were pushed to the back. All that we began to hear from that point forward was drugs, gangs, bees, hoes, all this stuff. So when I say NWA killed hip hop, I'm not saying them particularly, but I'm saying that is where we can draw the line and say hip hop moved to rap, and the whole vibe, the whole genre, the whole mood of the music style changed and shifted.
Okay, but let me ask you this: so, what was hip hop outside of rap at that point?
Hip hop was
Outside
more,
of rap.
in my
Go
opinion,
ahead.
hip hop was more. It was more a vibe. It was more a feel. It was more a party in some respects. It was
Okay.
more an upliftment, if you will, right?
Well, was it rap?
It was still rap. It was still
Okay,
rap.
okay. That's all I do.
Right?
Okay.
It was still rap, right? I don't get too far into the backpack hip hop versus gritty hip hop, what have you, but it was still all a form of rap, right?
Right. Well, and I would dare to say I see where you come from a standpoint, especially growing up in Chicago. I got family out there who have talked about it, and I understand the ideals were different, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, hip hop came as a way to for us to express ourselves, and by us I mean Black folks, African
Oh yeah.
American. See to it how you want it. You can argue with your mama, don't come from me. All right. But it was a way for us to express ourselves. And the only thing is that we've had this discussion every time a new region becomes big or has a big movement, right?
Mhm.
So back then, West Coast came out, and it was different because over there on the West Coast, life was different. All right. Enjoyment was
Mhm.
different. You know what I'm saying? They were rapping about the things that they had to endure. New York, Chicago, they all endured different lives, right? Different lifestyles, unfortunately. And
Mhm.
so this was what they saw fit to talk about because this is what moved the crowd on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe that their music had a lot of uplifting in it. Yes, it talked about selling drugs and whatnot, but a lot of it preached from a standpoint of why do we have to be there? Nobody wants to be here. A lot of songs that they talked about were reminiscence of people that they remember getting shot. So,
Mhm.
I say that because, and then remembering I'm only 42, so I know you've still got more experience and more wisdom in this, but I do also remember they claimed the same thing when the South had a movement and Outkast and those took place in it. They said something very similar to where it was ruined now.
Yeah, but here I hear that, but I think the difference between let's say NWA versus let's say Outkast, I think Outkast was more stylistically as far as the style of music and how the music sounded, whereas for NWA it was the content, right? The content shifted, right? The fact that they were using P-Funk, the fact that they were using all that, I don't think that was the thing that caused people to say that or what have you. I think it was the content. It was a content that was very different than the content that we had seen. We went from we're all in the same gang, right? The All Stars, right? From singing we're all in
Okay.
the same gang to now we have this entirely different context and conversation as far as this is now, shoot them up, kill them, what have you, right? And I'm not saying I'm using some generalizations
No,
there,
but definitely,
but at the
definitely.
end
I'm
of the
with you.
day,
I'm
I
with
think
you.
we're talking content change versus style change.
Content change. Right. Okay.
Because
No,
because
I'm with you on that.
Outkast brought a different flow. I mean, if you think about it, even let's talk what's the guys
I
Bone
mean,
Thugs and
hey,
Harmony. Bone
yeah,
Thugs and Harmony brought a different flow. So flows change, and yes, if it's new as far as the flow, there's some pushback because of the flow, the style. I think we've gotten beyond that now. I think now you have a generational conversation, right? Because now my generation is looking at mumble rap and saying that ain't nothing, right?
right.
But if we're talking about content, I think the content shift is what I'm saying changed or killed or shifted where we were before NWA.
Okay, I get that, but I'm gonna say I like I said, I respect your opinion on that, and I can't say it's wrong or anything.
No.
But you know what? Even though he spends more time in these chats trolling, you know, especially trolling during the time where he swears he's so busy he can't get on camera. Jason made a point. All right. And I have to kind of agree. One of the main problems in hip hop at one point was Uncle Luke and the Two Live Crew. You know,
That's the, yeah.
they definitely threw a wrench in the game. They definitely
They killed Freak Nick too.
man, what? Yeah. That, you know, I only got a little taste of it right before I ended up in college. I was hoping I would get to experience that. But you know what I'm saying? Went to the Texas Relay. Yeah,
I was
2000. I want to say 2000 or 99 was the last real year that they did something. And then after that, it was what was it, the Kappa Beach Party?
I know I was there in the midst of like it at its height. I was in there at the 90s. Like I graduated high school in 1990. So 92, 90, 91, 91, 92, I was there. And it was Freaknik was Freaknik. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just say, hey, some of y'all don't know, but your mama's was wild. All right. Your mama was getting down. Remember that. All right. But your daddy was nasty too. All right. So we're not gonna put it on all the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Your daddy was a dog too. Hey, we'll be all right. But no, man, shout out to everybody that was at Freaknik, man. I'm a little jealous, you know what I'm saying, just to experience that in full. You know what I'm saying? I got a little taste on the last day one time going to the Texas Relays and whatnot. So it is what it is, man. But yeah. And shout out to Netflix for covering that. But yeah, man. Kev, man, once again, bro, look, love the correlation of the fragrances and songs and whatnot. I think you have 4 really good ones, you know, and each one of them gave a sample of one of your favorite genres, I could assume, you know?
Yeah.
One of the genres that you're feeling. Yeah. So definitely appreciate that, man. Appreciate you for taking a little time out to come and spend with us today.
No problem.
Before I put you in the back chat, you know, anything to say to those watching right now?
No, listen, I appreciate this community. Appreciate you having me on here, bro, just to have a conversation and hear me spout off some of my wild conspiracy theories, as it were. But definitely appreciate the community. FragCom is a great place if we allow it to be, right? Let's just
indeed.
This is scented oil, water, and alcohol, and we're just trying to figure out the notes that we like and what we like. Wear what you want to wear, smell how you want to smell. Just smell good. That's all I ask.
Oh yeah, and remember, y'all. Hey, we leave the chat open for discussion, whether on live or not, because we always like to hear your opinion. Here, we don't give. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna cuss, but we don't care. All right. You know, we want you to express yourself as long as it's in a controlled environment, you know, in a controlled way, a respectful way. Hey, you know, you disagree with us and whatnot, let us know. Please let us know. All right. You know, because it just allows for more banter, more entertainment, and more discussion. And that's what we're here for, the conversation, you know. That's why we call it community conversation, because we want your input. We want your feedback. You know what I'm saying? We want to know what you're feeling. On top of what we're feeling, hey, do you like it? Whatever, you know? So please, don't feel shy.
Shout out Jason. Hey. Yes, sir. Public
enemy. Yeah. And shout out to Jason because, you know, he's the real one. He's the one that reached out to you. At the time, when someone said you should reach out to Smellgoodz, I thought he was talking about Goods the animal, you know, the friend of Bones Brigante. I think I told you about that.
Yeah.
And so when I saw he was reaching out to you, I was like, who is this guy? I was like, I know he likes skin like Goods, but that ain't Goods. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Jason for you know, initiating the conversation. But man, appreciate you for coming up. And let me go ahead and put you in the back, man. All right.
All right. Appreciate y'all.
But don't leave.
I got you. Yeah, I got you.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming out, man. Had a great conversation with Kev. All right. Smellgoodz. All right. Definitely will leave his information in the description after this live is over. Please go out there and support him. He has great content. If you're looking for good rendition, a clone. He definitely has some good recommendations. If you're looking for a designer, he got good recommendations. And now, recently, he has really been up in his game with the niche content as well, and look forward to more of that. But go out there and support the man, support family. You know, give him a shout out, comment, share, subscribe. Just show him some love. All right. But outside of that, man, we appreciate y'all for coming out. Sorry if I have not managed to get through the chat enough, but shout out to Raph and everybody else who came in here towards the end, man. You know, appreciate y'all for coming out, you know, trying to do as many of these as I can to kind of build the family, build the community, you know what I'm saying? Put us all on equal footings as far as you know, how we see each other, how we associate, because, you know, like I've said before, Fragcom has so many little cul-de-sacs of people. And, you know, believe it or not, we all seem to think that we all seem to believe that we know each other. And man, you'd be surprised how many people don't know each other, know nothing about them, and yet we share the same chat. You know, seen that over the past couple of years from getting to know people like Tazo, Charm, Nosy Neighbor, Spence, Oda Erica, to what's my girl's name? I always forget her name, but to all the people that we've had up here, man, you know, we all share something in common, and I think it's important that we all understand that, get to know each other, and, you know, build something serious. You know, Hicks always says that crap about Martin Luther gems, but man, I do believe that yeah, man, we should be out here doing our own thing, but also building the community. And, you know, community conversation is one way to do that. But hey, once again, man, appreciate y'all for coming out. You know, you could have been anywhere but here, but you chose to be here with us. And for that, I and we, the three legs of Sips and Sniffs. All right, pause. All right, for those who don't get it. All right. We are a tripod, you know, when we show up. But, you know, we appreciate it. When you get a chance, hey, hit that thumbs up, share it with somebody, comment, leave us a message. You know what I'm saying? Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't like. If you have an opinion on how we could critique things, trust me, I'm not too opposed to taking people's opinions or suggestions, and I'll definitely take that into consideration, and hopefully it can help us improve the platform. You know, but with all that being said, man, hey, let every sip be a sip of inspiration, and seriously, let every sniff lead to a new discovery, man. Appreciate y'all for coming out. Appreciate y'all for joining us. You know, it's been a good beginning of the week, you know. But see y'all hopefully maybe on Thursday and whatnot. I'm trying to see what we're going to have going on. But just look out for that alert. Make sure you turn the alerts on, and we'll let you know next time we show up. All right. But outside of that, man, appreciate y'all for coming out. Much love to everybody who's here and those who are catching the replay. We'll see you later.